For this night's dinner, we did some shrimp tacos. For this dinner, I used shrimp, sour cream, onions, cherry tomatoes, lettuce, cotija cheese, and some cilantro. I started off by thawing my shrimp in a bowl of ice water. Next, I diced 1/2 of an onion, diced up my cherry tomatoes, and then I'm just going to cut up my cilantro. And lastly, I'm just going to dice up this head of lettuce. I'm only going to use half. And now I'm just going to crumble up this cotija cheese. I like to lay it out on the cutting board, let the kids grab what they like. And now I'm going to cut up my avocados. And I'm just going to place those on the cutting board with the rest of the ingredients. And once my shrimp is done thawing, I went ahead and rinsed it and drained it. To a pan over medium heat, I'm going to go ahead and add some olive oil, and then I'm going to add in my shrimp. And now I'm just going to add in some garlic powder. And for the tortillas tonight, I'm using these Chi-Chi's Flowers tortillas. To a pan over medium heat with some frying oil, I'm going to add my flour tortillas. I like my tortillas crispy on the outside, soft on the inside, kind of like a chalupa from Taco Bell style. I only let them cook about 30 seconds on each side. Once that air bubble fills up, I go ahead and flip them. This dinner is super easy from start to finish, about 10-15 minutes tops. My kids really love that they're able to pick out their own toppings, so we make this quite often. Next, I'm just going to put together my taco. As you can see, these tacos are quite large, so one usually fills me up, and dinner's done, guys. And for this night's dinner, we did some grinder sandwiches. This is my first time attempting this recipe, and let me tell you, this was amazing. I am definitely going to be making this again. I started off with just slicing one red onion, and then I'm adding the onion to a bowl of ice water, and I'm going to let that soak for 20 minutes. This takes out the tanginess of the onion and makes them sweet. And for my garlic butter sauce, I'm going to take 1/4 cup of butter. I'm adding in 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of dried parsley, 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and a dash of salt. Now I'm just taking my French bread roll and I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. And to my bread, I'm going to add some Swiss cheese. And to the top of the bread, I'm going to add on our butter mixture. And I'm just going to cut this in half, and I'm going to throw in the oven at 350 degrees for 6 to 8 minutes until crisp. If you ever wonder why I use these air fryer sheets, is because I'm currently residing in Japan and they do not have ovens, so I have to improvise and I use the air fryer for all my baking. And now onto the salad. To a bowl, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of mayo, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons of parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and a dash of salt. And I'm going to go ahead and put this recipe up in my description box. Make sure you guys check that out. And I'm just going to stir to combine. Next, I just chopped up some cucumbers and some iceberg lettuce. I'm gonna add that to the mixture. And I'm gonna add in some of these Mount Olive banana peppers. Now that the onions have soaked a bit, I went ahead and drained those. I'm gonna add those into our mixture. After 8 minutes, our bread is out of the oven. It's nice and crisp. I'm gonna go ahead and add our mixture onto the bread. Now I'm just gonna add on our lunch meat. I have some honey ham from the deli. I'm also gonna add on some salami. You can also add whatever toppings you like, avocado, tomato, whatever you have on hand. And here's our sandwich. These things were massive, they definitely fill you up. I went ahead and cut these into squares, put them on a cutting board, and let the kids have at it. And for this night's dinner, I wanted something quick and easy. I just did some hot dogs. And for the side, I just went ahead and diced up 2 clean potatoes. And now I'm just gonna place them into a bowl. Next, I'm just adding in some olive oil, some Auntie-No-No seasoning, some black pepper, some minced onion, and some smoked paprika, some dried parsley, and last but not least, some Parmesan. Next, I'm just going to transfer them to my baking sheet and I'm going to air fry them at 320 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes or until crispy. And for one of my sides, I'm going to do some pan-fried zucchini. I'm just going to go ahead and chop up my zucchini. Into a pan over medium heat, I'm going to add my olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and add my zucchini, and I'm gonna season with some garlic salt and some pepper. And I'm gonna cook these until they're cooked through. I like a little bit of charring on the outside. And for the main dish, I'm just gonna cook up these Oscar Mayer hot dogs. And I just dished everything up and dinner is done. And for this night's dinner, we are doing some fried chicken. For this night's dinner, I'm using frozen fried chicken, some macaroni and cheese, okra, mozzarella cheese sticks, and some croissant rolls. So I got this chicken at our local grocery store. It is really crispy, really good. The breading is amazing. I'm just gonna go ahead and fry this up. Once they're done cooking, I'm going to transfer them to a paper towel and let it absorb the excess oil. And for one of my sides tonight, I'm going to make some fried okra. These are from my garden and they were starting to go bad, so I decided I need to use them up tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and chop these up. And for the batter, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of milk to a bowl. And I'm going to mix in 1 egg. I'm going to add in a dash of Auntie-No-No's everything seasoning, and I'm going to give that a mix. And to a separate bowl, I'm going to add in 1 cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and a dash of salt. And I'm going to go ahead and mix to combine. I'm going to take my okra pieces and I'm going to add them to my egg mixture. You don't want them to sit too long, just long enough to coat. And then I'm going to add them to my flour mixture. Make sure you get as much excess egg off of them before you add them in, and go ahead and toss to combine. Then I just went ahead and fried them. 1 or 2 minutes until golden brown. And for the next side, I'm just going to make some macaroni and cheese. I'm just going to do it by the directions on the back of the box. And for the final side, I'm just going to make some garlic mozzarella crescent rolls. I'm going to place my mozzarella cheese inside the crescent roll, and I'm going to go ahead and roll it up. Then I just went ahead and put them on my baking sheet. I'm going to use this garlic butter from the other night's dinner when we had the grinder sandwiches. I'm just going to go ahead and brush that on the top of these. I'm going to cook these in the air fryer at 320 for about 15 minutes or until golden brown. And I know there's not a lot of green in this meal, but this meal was amazing. It was comfort food for sure. I'll definitely be making it again. And that's it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope to see you guys again next week.